That's the sound of a cold beer on a Monday night after a victory over the New York Jets. 3-game winning streak, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? That tastes like a W right there. That's what winning tastes like. That's what the winning tastes like right there. That is what winning tastes like right there. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to yet another episode of the Robstar Report. I know I didn't get to do my live play-by-play this past Sunday. I didn't get to do my breakdown post-game like normal. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. You're looking at a guy who cracked up in a cold one because we got that W. Man, it feels good. It feels good to be 4-3. I'll tell you that. It feels good to be 4-3. I mean, what can I say, chat? What can I say? I mean, listen, a win's a win. Okay? It wasn't a masterpiece in East Rutherford on Sunday, but hell, a win's a win. Again, it wasn't flashy. It wasn't clean. And at times it was borderline ugly. But the end result, a third straight victory, and for the first time since 2021, again, we also have a record over 500. Again, this is something this team and its fans, we've haven't been able to say in a long damn time, man. And here's the thing. All right. Here's the thing. We're going to break everything down that you need to know from this. All right. I'm going to break everything down that you need to know from this game. Grinded it out, a 13-6 win. Yep, 13-6. Again, it's not exactly a fireworks show. Oh, I got to change my thing real quick. Hold on, chat. I don't even got the right dang thing. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. There's the right one, Clay. There's the right one. What's up, Clay? I feel you about Bryce being out for the next game or more. Man, I tell you, see, the thing is, Big Walt, like, people want to argue with me, man. People want to argue with me. They want to argue the fact that they think that this kid's not going to be out. It's a high ankle sprain, ladies and gentlemen. This is not I don't understand how people can sit here and say, "Oh, well, he'll make it back. He'll be fine." Like, it's a high ankle sprain. The normal the normal time frame is 2 to 3 weeks. It's 2 to 4 weeks. I mean, he was walking in a boot after the game. And then the people only hear what they want to hear. See, the people only want to hear what they want to hear, chat. That's the thing. That's the thing that drives me nuts about this thing. The people only want to hear what they want to hear, right? Because all the media is telling you, and all what Dave Canales is telling you is saying, "Oh, we're going to take it day to day. We're going to take it day by day." It ain't going to be no day by day. Now, again, a high ankle sprain, we've seen it before where guys have had a high ankle sprain and then it just ends up being like they come back the next week. Then there's times that happens. But no offense to you guys and nobody. And listen, all right? Like, I'm gonna be dead serious with you guys. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you watch that game against the Jets on Sunday and you truly watched it, Bryce Young matters to this offense, whether you believe that or not. And if you don't believe it, man, I can't lead you to the water. You can lead a horse to the water, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to drink. That horse, you can't force the horse to drink. I'm going to tell you right now, Bryce Young matters to this offense. Andy Dalton, washed. Andy Dalton, washed. He's washed. Andy Dalton isn't going to do a damn thing with this offense. We saw that. Yeah, 4 for 7, 60 yards. Now, if he goes out, he might go out there and surprise somebody, man. He might go out there and he might surprise all of us. But I can tell you this right now. Andy Dalton. The thing is Andy Dalton can't get out the pocket, man. Andy Dalton's not a guy who's going to be able to be elusive in the pocket and extend the plays. He's not that type of guy. Bryce is a better fit. Hooker is a better fit. But Dalton, again, I just don't see it happening. You know what I mean? I don't see it happening. But again, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? All I know is I'm taking this celebration. That's a W. That's what a W tastes like. That's what a 3-game winning streak tastes like right there. That's what a 3-game winning streak tastes like. And again, I said it. I'll take a win where a win, I'll take a win where I can get it, man. I'll take a win where I can get it. A win is a win. All right, but enough of the theatrics. Let's dive into this game. I'm keeping the shades on, though. We're keeping the shades on. All right? Keeping the shades on. I'm going to say this first, man. Can we just talk about this defense real quick? Like, this Panthers defense came out with a chip on its shoulder, and they pretty much bullied that Jets offense all damn game, all afternoon. Like, Carolina held New York to just 220 offensive yards. Then they go out, and basically the Jets bench Justin Fields. Bench him. We allowed 0 touchdowns. We racked up a season high of 6 sacks. Which is impressive considering that we've only had 5 total sacks coming into this game, which is crazy. That's called progress. Now, the stars of the show for sure was Derrick Brown, of course, and Jaycee Horn, both playing like their hair was on fire, man. Both were like playing like their hair was on fire. But again, Derrick Brown, let's just start with the obvious with him real quick. Derrick freaking Brown is an absolute wrecking ball in the trenches. Like, if there was a Jets lineman in front of him, he was probably somewhere on his ass by the end of the play. Brown put up 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, 3 batted passes, 7 tackles, tying for the team lead. He looks like his old Pro Bowl self. He's eating blockers alive all afternoon. Every snap looked like a personal vendetta. He's the reason Tyrod Taylor spent most of the second half running for his life. And why the Jets offense looked like it was stuck in a blender. Same thing with Jaycee Horn, man. Jaycee Horn didn't just lock down his side of the field, but he put it into solidarity, confinement, right? Solitary confinement. He had them boys locked in. Said, nah, not today. Now, again, you're going up against a weak wide receiver core because besides Garrett Wilson on that team, who they got? Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard was only good as he could be due to the fact of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers made that guy better. Let's be honest. Aaron Rodgers made that guy better. Okay? But you're talking about a guy who snagged 2 interceptions, including a one-handed beauty in the end zone. That looked straight. Looked straight out of a Nike commercial. The second one came late in that fourth quarter, chat. Second one came late in that fourth quarter and to ice the game. I mean, it was pure football poetry. I mean, basically, in that play, and I tweeted about it, basically, Jaycee Horn said, let me run that route for you. Watch this. Let me run that route for you. Watch this. And then just snag that ball. I mean, patient coverage, perfect timing. I mean, hands softer than everything you'd expect from a corner. Jets QB, I mean, Tyrod Taylor tested him. And Jaycee Horn kept making him made him pay for it. And sooner or later, quarterbacks are going to eventually learn that. Okay? Or maybe they won't. Either way, Horn is back to his elite form. I don't care what anybody says. Jaycee Horn's back to his elite form, ladies and gentlemen. He is. Jaycee Horn looks like that guy that he has always been meant to be, right? That he always was meant to be. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Now, if you're watching on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, just drop a follow, hit the like, hit the heart. TikTok, you can tap my face or punch it, whichever one you feel like. I don't care. Because we won. That's all that matters to me. Again, it was ugly. It was ugly. It wasn't perfect. But I can tell you right now, my Rico Dowdle TikTok and shorts sure as hell got a lot of hatred. I'll tell you that. Sure as hell got a lot of hatred, but boy, was I right. Boy, was I right. You get Chuba Hubbard back from the calf injury, which should have been good news, at least on paper. The problem is that I told you guys this. Rico has been absolutely cooking. Okay? For the past couple weeks, tearing through defenses. He's been he's been possessed by a ghost of Adrian Peterson, D'Angelo Williams. I don't know. So naturally, you'd think Dave Canales and company would ride their hot hand, right? As I said they should. Never said that you don't get. I never said in my shorts, because everybody in my short thought that I was saying not to give Chuba Hubbard any touches. No, I didn't say that. I said you ride the hot hand. There's two things, that's two totally different things. Instead, you decided to split the workload. And by split it, I mean they alternated drives like it was youth football and everyone needed equal playtime. It was the kind of like galaxy brain coaching move that just made me question if Canales is watching the same damn games, because he's the one who's coaching them. But damn, as the rest of us. I don't get it. See, this is why you guys want to sit there and criticize me, but let me share this with you. Let me share this with you guys. Look at this. I mean, Rico's going to start. There's no doubt about it. But he should be the one getting the first reps early and often. Okay? Early and often, man. Look at that. All right, so running back usage. Week 7. Sorry, I see some people in the TikTok. Trey Jeezy says, I made Panthers content too. I've got the same flag in the background. Keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. It's a grind. But appreciate you coming through. Respect is a thing. Willing to bet Rico starts from now on, right? Right? But look at this. Okay? Chuba Hubbard, 54% snaps. 54% snaps, okay? 14 carries, 17 routes, 3 targets, 55 yards. Rico Dowdle, 46% snaps, 17 carries, 9 routes, 2 targets, 96 yards. What are we talking? Like, what are we doing? 96 yards to 55 yards. Make it make sense. And I get it. The only reason why they're giving not Rico, but Chuba Hubbard more carries and more touches, and they're trying to get, make it even with everyone, is because of the contract. I know that. Okay? I get it. But 54 snaps to Chuba Hubbard to 46. Doesn't that sound bad until you actually look at the numbers? Because once you do, like we just went over, this wasn't some clever two-headed monster strategy. It was one guy thriving while the other one ran face first into a brick wall. Sorry. They should have eased Chuba Hubbard back in. Chuba Hubbard should have got no more than 12 to 13 touches. That's it. No more than that. Where Rico should have been the guy getting 20 to 25 touches. Even with a 26-yard catch and run, that could have been a freaking touchdown if Hubbard hadn't completely ignored his blockers. Like he was trying to speed run the play. His performance was, at best, average. He finished with 54 yards totals on 14 carries, 2 receptions. Good for a measly 3.43 yards per touch. Thoughts on the Red Rocket? He is washed. Danny Dalton, listen, I'm telling you guys this right now. I'm not saying Bryce is the savior, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm not saying he's the savior, but he's the better quarterback for this system right now. And you can't tell me that he does not matter. He does not matter for this offense. Because if you watch the same Jets game I did, man, Andy Dalton, 4 for 7, 60 yards, had that 1 touchdown to Xavier Gatt. That's great and all. Timmy Jones, Hendon Hooker's our QB3, brother. Hendon Hooker's our QB3. Again, man, you think that you're going to be able to air it out with Andy Dalton? You're sadly mistaken if you think that's going to be the case. You are sadly mistaken if you think that's going to be the case. But you're talking about a guy with Chuba Hubbard that was averaging a measly 3.3 yards per touch. And then everybody's like, well, he should have been starting, but everybody wants him to start in the first place. Make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Make it make sense. That's all I'm trying to say is like, make it make sense. YouTube, what are we doing? We got 5 people slacking on the likes. Also, by the way, shout out to our sponsor, one of our new sponsors, by the way. Shout out to one of our new sponsors, by the way. It's called Swerve, or Swivel. I'm not glazing Bryce Young. See, glazing Bryce Young is two totally different things, my friend. I said he's perfect for this system over Andy Dalton. I also said that he was better fit for this. Okay? So, first things first, let's not sit here and say we're glazing him. I'm saying that he's better than Andy Dalton running this offense right now, managing this offense. Because Bryce Young can actually use his legs. Bryce Young can actually use his legs and get out the pocket and extend plays. Unlike Andy Dalton, who looks stiff as a board back there, who's scared you can tell he's scared to take hits. And he can barely move in the pocket. So it's not glazing. And if you think that Bryce Young doesn't matter to this offense, you're sadly mistaken. At least right now. At least right now. But I didn't say he's the franchise guy. I still have my questions about that. Chris, you obviously didn't watch the Jets game then. You obviously didn't watch the Jets game, my friend. Go back and watch the Jets game. Andy's not better than Bryce. Maybe from an all-time standpoint, sure. We can have that conversation. But right now? Oh, yes. A young Andy Dalton? I think you can make the case for sure. For sure, Chris. I'm not going to disagree with that. You could make a case that Andy Dalton was better in his younger age, for sure. Andy Dalton went to the playoffs, just never won. Whether that was, what was his coach's name? Marvin, what was his name at Cincinnati? Marvin what? Marvin something. He was terrible, but they never won a playoff game. Maybe one. Bryce is most definitely better than Andy Dalton right now. Yes. Marvin Lewis. Thank you. Terrible. Guy couldn't never win one. All right, but shout out to a sponsor of our live stream. Okay, so what this is, guys, is called Swivel. So basically, you can put all this is a Google extension. Okay. All this is a Google extension. And what it does, chat on YouTube, is basically whenever I post something on X, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you can set this extension and set it to me, to the Robstar Report. And every time you open up your computer, it takes you right to all my content directly. So you don't miss a thing. So if you want to sign up for this, or if you want to, it's free. It's not like it costs you any money. It's free. It's just the sponsorship of today's live stream. Also, shout out to BetUS. They're also a sponsorship of this live stream as well. And I'm going to post my link. I'm going to go ahead and post my link in the chat. I'm going to post my link in the chat right now. right here. And I'm going to pin it up at the top. And all you have to do is go check it out. All you have to do is go check it out. All right, let's go back to this Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle situation. Yeah, the Bills are going to be a tough matchup either way. We need Bryce healthy for the run. Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. But yeah, back to this whole situation here, chat. Okay. Let's be honest. The Jets defense is solid. Like Steve Wilks had those guys ready. Okay. And that's not enough of an excuse to justify the kind of inefficiency. Meanwhile, you got Rico Dowdle, who's looked like the only adult in the room. And the man, ran with patience, vision. He had actual bursts, something that this offense desperately needs. You're talking about a guy who had 17 carries, 1 catch for a total of 96 yards. You're averaging 5.3 yards per touch. Every time he touched the ball, it felt like we were actually threatening to move the damn chains. Okay. So it was painful. It was painfully obvious to anyone with working eyeballs. Dowdle's the better back. He is. He's the better back right now. It's not even close. Okay. Again, people want to say, well, right, Chuba Hubbard, was our offense last year. Up until Bryce came back from being benched, that kind of changed a little bit. But Chuba Hubbard never took over a game like Rico Dowdle did. Chuba Hubbard never put over 283 yards from scrimmage. Chuba Hubbard's never put over I don't even know if Chuba Hubbard's ever reached 200 plus yards from scrimmage. Not back-to-back weeks. I can tell you that. So, again, Rico Dowdle is the better back right now. Not in theory, not in maybe, not we'll see next week, right freaking now. It's not even close. Like, you go look at Rico Dowdle across the board. He's outproduced him. If we're talking production, Dowdle has outclassed Hubbard in pretty much every way imaginable. Explosiveness, Dowdle wins. He consistently gets upfield and hits the hole with a purpose and makes defenders miss. Yards after contact. Dowdle again. He dragged tacklers. Hubbard ran into them. Decision making. Dowdle. Hubbard's tendencies to sprint directly into traffic or on run past his own blockers made him more than a few fans grown audibly. Momentum plays. Also, Dowdle, every big run seemed to come from him. Every run. While Hubbard's longest rush still felt like small miracles. So if there was a job interview right now, and it was between Rico Dowdle to get the job or Chuba Hubbard to get this job, Dowdle would have been offered the role before Hubbard even finished his PowerPoint presentation as to why he should have been hired for that job. Sorry. The snap counts tell you everything you need to know. Because, again, you look at the snap counts, guys. 54% snaps. So that was 14 carries, 17 routes, and 3 targets. 55 yards. 46% to Dowdle. 17 carries, 9 routes, 2 targets, 96 yards. Stats and snap counts don't lie, ladies and gentlemen. Hubbard technically, again, saw more snaps. Dowdle got more touches. That's the only silver lining in this mess. Hubbard technically saw more snap counts. Dowdle got more touches. That's it. The coaching staff had some awareness mid-game to give the hotter back more work. That needs to become the norm, not the exception. The Panther, you can't keep forcing an even split out of misguided sense of loyalty or balance. Dowdle is flat out better at everything right now. Again, running between the tackles, catching out of the backfield, pass protection, probably even running Gatorade refills at this point. Like, the guy just makes things happen, ladies and gentlemen. They do. He does. Now, that doesn't mean, okay, that Hubbard should be buried on the depth chart. He's still talented. He's still worth touches. He's still working his way back from that injury as well. So, both offense clearly, okay, both offense clearly has more, it's clear that this offense, not both offenses, it's clear that this offense has more rhythm, more juice, more flow when Rico Dowdle is the one getting the majority of the reps. You're right. It's breezy. Chuba Hubbard's in his second year of this offense, and Rico Dowdle is only in year one. You got to stop. The thing is Dave Canales is overthinking it, ladies and gentlemen. This shouldn't be this complicated. The numbers, the film, the vibe, it all points to the same conclusion. Rico Dowdle should be RB1 until further notice. It's not a knock on Hubbard. It's not. I'm not knocking on him. I'm not saying that the guy stinks. When he's healthy, he's sharp. He's a solid back for sure. But we're talking about right now. And right now, Chuba Hubbard's not the guy. Rico Dowdle is. The frustrating part is that it wasn't even a surprise. Week 5 and week 6, both of which featured basically Dowdle making the offense look competent, and everyone saw this coming. Everyone except, apparently, Dave Canales. The whole split backfield evenly approach does sound fair in theory. It does. But in practice, it's just leaving yards and points on the board. And not on the board, but on the field. You're leaving points on the field. Plain and simple. At the end of the day, this is simple football logic. If one dude, let's do some math, ladies and gentlemen. Math time. If one dude is averaging 5.3 yards a touch and the other one is averaging around 3.4, who do you give the ball to? Anyone? Bueller? You give the damn ball to the guy who's averaging 5.3 yards per touch. That's what you do. Listen, again, until Chuba Hubbard shows flashes of what we saw in 2024 version of himself, Rico Dowdle needs to be the lead back, plain and simple. There's you ride the hot hand. Just give the ball to the guy who's clearly better right now. Not saying don't give Chuba Hubbard any touches. I'm just saying. Let's be honest, because the Panthers this coaching staff keeps overthinking this. It's all about momentum they've built over the last few weeks and could evaporate faster than a Bank of America Stadium beer on a 90-degree Sunday. Sometimes the smartest move isn't always the simplest one. Stop trying to be clever. Feed Rico Dowdle the damn ball. Plain and simple. YouTube, make sure you guys pound that like button. I greatly appreciate it. Where are we at on likes right now? Where are we at? Oh, we're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. TikTok, tap my face, punch it. You can punch your phone if you want. Just don't crack it. You can just pound my face. I know. I only got a face that a mother can love. It's all good. It's all good. All right. I had enough of the sunglasses. Chat. I had enough of them. All right. Let's break this game down, man. Let's break it down. TikTok, if you want to, you can come on over to the YouTube channel. You can see it a lot better if you want to. I have like a full screen, full background. I've got the works over here on YouTube. So my link is in my bio if you want to come over here, TikTok. If you're watching on X, I appreciate you guys. Whoever is watching on X, I appreciate you coming through and following me and hitting the hearts. So I greatly appreciate it. We just hit 600 followers on X, which is crazy. Just crazy work. I don't really get on X very often. It's breezy. Julius was good, my guy. Appreciate you coming through. All right, so I gave you my thoughts on the whole Rico Dowdle thing. Let me get back to some guys I want to talk about. We talked about how obviously Derrick Brown is an absolute fucking machine and how Jaycee Horn is elite and he continues to prove that. Can we talk about Nick Scorton? The rookie out of Texas A&M, former Purdue Boilermaker before going to Texas A&M, got 1.5 sacks. I'm telling Nick Scorton at this point should have like 4 or 5 sacks. He should have like 4 or 5 sacks. He's been like this close, like every single time, every game this year. He's been like this close to one. And it's crazy that this team comes in here and we only have 5 sacks on the year. We get 6 sacks in this game. I felt like this was a get right game kind of for a defense almost. I kind of feel like that just a little bit, like not necessarily that our defense needed to get right, but just, coming into this game, we only had 5 sacks. So really it was our pass rush kind of getting itself right, building some confidence. I felt like this was a big game for our pass rush to really build some confidence, and they did. But welcome to the league, rookie. Nick Scorton officially introduced himself to the NFL yesterday. That's for sure. Talking about a guy who had 4 solo tackles, 1.5 sacks on yesterday's game. I think he had 4 solo. No, he only had 2 solo tackles and then 1.5 sacks. So my bad. 2 tackles, 1.5 sacks. But he was getting pressures, man. I think he had like 6 pressures on the QB. Let me go see. How many pressures did he have in this game? Well, he had 3 quarterback hits. I wish I could see how many pressures he had. Here's the thing. He hit the quarterback 3 separate times, which is huge. The kid's motor is insane. I had him a 1st-round grade coming out this year. And he's already flashing the kind of bend. He has this elite bend coming off the edge. That burst that makes him makes offensive tackles panic because he lost weight. When he was at Texas A&M, he was at 280, and then when he before he was transferred to Texas A&M at Purdue, he was like 260 between that 250 260 range. And I feel like when we hit that 280 range at Texas A&M, obviously he lost some of that speed, but the power's still there, man. But to toss in a fellow rookie as well, Princely Amami Allen, who had a 1/2 sack of his own. Suddenly the Panthers have a young pass rush that looks like a problem, right? We've been waiting for this to kind of break out for some time. So again, shout out to Nick Scorton and Prince Umamiela, getting some sacks. Shout out to them as well. 7 pressures yesterday by Nick Scorton. Was that who it was, Biamos? 7 pressures he had? I thought it was around 5 or 6, but if he got 7, damn. I normally don't drink on weekdays, but after a victory and we got a 3-game winning streak, I just felt like it was only right if I had a beer tonight. All right. I normally don't drink during the week. So, gum. 7 pressures yesterday by Nick Scorton is huge. It's absolutely huge. First win on the road is correct. It's breezy. First road win on the. Let's see if we can continue it. Now, of course, we're back home against the Bills, but that's a different story for another day. That's for sure. That's a different game for another day. Again, we already talked about Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard. Can I give a huge shout out to this guy right here? 9 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown, as in Xavier Legette. That was Xavier Legette's come out party yesterday. All right. 92 yards, averaging 10 yards per reception. And he had what? 1 touchdown, 92 yards. Yep. Caught 9 of 11 targets. That was his official come out party yesterday. Officially. After weeks of inconsistent play, criticism, about his effort, the rookie definitely showed. I mean, not the rookie. He's not a rookie anymore. I don't know why I keep calling him a rookie. But he definitely showed up when the Panthers needed him the most. I mean, again, hauling in 9 for 11 targets, 92 yards, and a touchdown. He was Bryce Young's safety blanket all game long. Worked underneath routes and bailing the offense out on key third downs. His 33-yard grab late in the 4th quarter iced that win for sure. Finally gave the offense the reason to kind of excel, have control of the game. And if this is the version of Legette we're going to get moving forward, I mean, buckle up. Because, I mean, I get it. Tedero McMillan didn't have his best game. Yeah, and of course, he's been pretty efficient for most of the year, right? I mean, this is one game he wasn't, we're talking about Tedero McMillan, who's been averaging over 70 yards a game through the first 5 weeks, and he kind of cooled off. I mean, he was going up against Sauce Gardner. Sauce had him locked up pretty good. I gotta give Sauce credit where credit's due. He wasn't bad. He just wasn't there. It felt like. I mean, you forget he was even in the game until the box score reminds you of that. But again, Tedero McMillan, he's going to have his ups and downs as a rookie. But again, he's been the most consistent wide receiver so far. One game is not going to tell me that this kid isn't it, okay? Again, Tedero McMillan is that guy. He's going to be that guy. He'll be wide receiver 1 here, hopefully for a very long time. And I do see it being that way. But it was just one bad game. Let's talk about another guy who was absolutely terrific in this game was Tre'von Moehrig. Some folks, I tell you, raise their eyebrows when we drop money, big money on Tre'von Moehrig in free agency. And it's safe to say that guy earned every penny of it. Moehrig was everywhere on Sunday. Flying to the ball, sniffing out runs, wrecking screens before they even got started. I mean, Moehrig was just killing it yesterday. Right? he's become one of the tone setters on this defense. And he's someone we've desperately needed. He fits Evero's scheme perfectly, playing closer to the line of scrimmage where his instincts and tackling shine. His coverage, the coverage lapses happen occasionally, but the dude's energy is contagious, man. The dude's energy is contagious. Prince, I need that Panthers light thing. I don't have it linked in my bio, but I do know where you can get it from. I think I just looked up Panthers neon light on Amazon, and that's what the one I came up. I think it was only like $25. I think I only paid $25 for it. But go to Amazon and just look up Carolina Panthers neon logo on Amazon. I think it was only like $25. What jersey should you get next? I would get, if you don't have a Derrick Brown or Jaycee Horn or Tre'von McMillan, I would pick between those three. My next one is going to be Tre'von McMillan. I already have a Derrick Brown one. I already have a Jaycee Horn one. The only one I need to get next is definitely a Tre'von McMillan, and I'll add on as we keep going. Love the players' energy. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Let me give some shout outs real quick on YouTube before I forget, because I normally do. Earl Locklear, what's good? Lomax. Michael Hunt. If your name was Mike, that would be a different story. Popple's rookie was good. Big Walt was good. Bee's Knees was good. Brad in the chat was good. Thrift Life, what's good? Panthers Deep Driver was good. Rory Blake on aging is what's going on. Appreciate you joining. Sean Gomez, what's good? Appreciate you coming through. Panthers Gal, what's good? Appreciate you coming through. Rock Jones, what's good? Appreciate you coming through as well. Who else we got in here? SC Panthers boy, what's good, man? Appreciate you coming through. Kyrito, MVP 11, what's good? Appreciate you coming through. Eric Blair, what's good? Appreciate you. Let's see who else I'm missing in here. Jadarius, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming by. Ken 88, what's good, man? Appreciate you coming by as well. Who else is in here? Just trying to get through my shout outs real quick that everybody has joined. Zach Taylor, what's going on? Justin Bryant, what's good, man? B. Amos, what's good? Hall of Fame, what's good? T. Thompson, what's good? All right. I got through all of those guys. We got some people over here. Let's see who's in the chat right now. Who's in here? Let's see who's in here real quick. I got to see who's all in here. Trying to see. Casey Davis, what's going on? Appreciate you. Jonathan Lomax was good. Blake Carlos was good. Casey Davison was good. It's a breeze was good. Let's see who's in here. Juan was good. Let's see who else is in here. We've got some people on the TikTok now. We're getting some people on the TikTok. I love it. I love it. All right. Here we go. Let's break down some more. Spike the likes. Jose Augustine, what's good, man? Jose Augustine, what's good? Flicker Stick 66, what's good? Cincy 27, what's good, man? Appreciate you coming through. Showing your boy some love. All right. I think I gave you both, like, basically all the guys I thought did great. Oh, let's talk about Bryce Young. Now, there were some observations that I got to take away, even though he got knocked out early. I do want to talk about him real quick because I always give my observation of the kid. I will say this. This offense needs him. I'll say this. From the first snap of this game with Bryce Young out there, we weren't looking to like reinvent the wheel offensively. It was clear about that. But obviously Canales and Bryce Young had this game plan to keep things like methodical, really keep it simple, let the defense do the heavy lifting. This wasn't a sling it 40 times a kind of game. It was more of a death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. Quick reads, short passes, rhythm throws, and steady drives. That's what they were trying to do. Manage the game. I mean, and Young took that, what the Jets defense gave him, didn't try to play hero ball, which I've been saying that he needs to continue to do, because when he has to play your hero ball, he overthinks, and that's when bad things happen, right? When the offense is more up tempo, also, that's when that's when less bad things happen as well. So more of the aggressive approach. I still believe in that. I still believe that you need to go up tempo with Bryce Young as your quarterback. But it was mostly dink and dunk early on. Lots of underneath routes, lots of check downs, and that's exactly what the situation called for. I mean, the Jets secondary, coached by, former Carolina Panthers Steve Wilks, thrives on baiting young quarterbacks into forcing throws downfield, right? Young didn't bite. His biggest miss came on a deep shot to Jaycee Horn Jr. that sailed incomplete. It wasn't pretty, but it was one of the few times he even tried to push the ball down beyond 15 yards. And honestly, that's fine, because the rest of the afternoon he was sharp, deliberate, and in full command of the short game. I just wish that we would take the training wheels off this kid sometimes, and I still feel like they're still kind of there. But, like, we've got to start letting Bryce sling the ball beyond 15 yards. And there's just times when they need to do that. I know that we don't need Bryce Young to be a gunslinger. I get we want him to be efficient. We want him to be composed. We want him to be a smart quarterback and manage the game. And I get he doesn't have to play Superman. He just needs to play, I guess, point guard, like everybody likes to say. Here's the thing. He's finally getting that. Like, he's seeing defenses quicker, right? And he's making the right pre-snap reads. He's diagnosed coverages before they can even disguise themselves. Against the Jets, and against this Jets offense, they the MetLife crowd already mooing a disheartened Justin Fields. The calm, methodical approach was exactly what they wanted to go with. But a steady first half, built on some smart football. They didn't ask Bryce Young to carry this offense early in this game. They did lean on him, and he delivered. The run game sputtered a bit out the gate a little bit. But again, we weren't moving the chains easily. Young kept the operations clean, and under control. But his first half performance wasn't flashy. It was efficient for a quarterback play. He looked comfortable in the pocket. He worked through his reads with patience. He showed so much improved timing, right, with his receivers. But the highlight was his touchdown throw to Xavier Legette, a short strike in the red zone that capped off a patient, well orchestrated drive. But that play against that touchdown throw, I'll tell you this. Basically, the Jets in that play on that touchdown throw, he actually had this one, like, the Jets actually had that play well covered. If you go back and watch it, I actually posted about it on my X account, breaking it down. They actually had this one covered pretty well. It forced Bryce to roll to the other side, and then he motions XL back into the inside, and then drops that a slick throw on the move, and then Legette finished the play. So again, the Jets had that play. So, let's see here. What's up, Clay? Oh, Matt Machado coming in with a $20 donation. Shout out to Matt Machado for that $20 dono. Hold on one second. So shout out to Machado for that one. The defense is being consistent and setting the tone in the recent games. We got to call Chuba and Rico 5:30 happy hour due to how the way they're playing right now. That's funny. I like that. I like that though. I like that. 5:30 happy hour due to how they're playing right now. That's awesome. Shout out to Matt for that $20 donation. Appreciate you, Matt. We need to use T-Mac. He was locked up last game. I think they were using him. They were trying to. He was locked up. Sorry. Sauce had him locked up in that game. I mean, let's just call it what it is. They had him locked up. Let's just call it what it is. All right. But yeah, Bryce Young in that first half, you're starting to see the maturity in him, I think. I think you're starting to see the growth. That's what a young quarterback understanding that losing a down is better than risking a turnover. Basically, in other words, steady, safe, effective. Again, Young's not going to light up the scoreboard, but he's keeping us ahead and in rhythm. And sometimes that's all you need, ladies and gentlemen. But again, another thing I saw from Bryce Young in this game that we're probably going to miss in the next game against the Bills is how he's able to extend plays. That is one thing that doesn't get nearly enough credit for him is how good he is at buying us time. Like he's not a run first quarterback by any means, but his pocket movement is elite. It's very calculated. It's very instinctive. When things start to collapse, he doesn't panic. He just slides. A quick step up, a side shuffle, a spin, whatever the situation calls for. And those movements kept drives alive, right? And our offensive line held up surprisingly well, even with Damian Lewis out in this game when pressure didn't come. But but when pressure did come, Young handled it like a vet. He did. He wasn't running for his life. He was extending plays while keeping his eyes downfield. That's the mark of a confident quarterback. Now, he's not going to be Cam Newton, and he never will be. But that's okay. He's elusive in his own way. He's slippery. He's controlled, patient enough to find something out of nothing. That's the kind of pocket awareness that doesn't show up in the box score, but it's one of the biggest reasons this offense looks more stable each week. The dude's feet are working in sync with his brain now, and that's dangerous for opposing defenses. So yeah. Again, I thought it was a strong game for Bryce Young. It just ended on a sour note, right? Because of the injury. Like, I thought he was playing well, composed. I thought he was being efficient. I thought he was being intelligent with the football. Everything you want from your quarterback in a system that's built around balance and control, right? He's not out there trying to be Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. He's not built that way. He's built to run the offense like a conductor, calm, cerebral, and precise. That's his lane. And Dave Canales knows it. And I think the thing that I'm noticing more is that Young has finally settled into being a game manager. And that's not an insult, right? That's just that's his skill. He's making the right reads, okay? He's protecting the football, and he's showing confidence of a player who trusts the system around him. It's a damn shame, of course, that the game ended with him, of course, limping into the tunnel, walking out with a boot. because it was one of his most balanced and confident performances yet, right? And now everything, hinges on his ankle. Like, you're going up against Buffalo this week. We're gonna you're gonna get a real test against a legit contender, in my opinion. Yeah, they had a bad game against the Falcons that we beat 30-0, but you can't take anything away from Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Okay. We need him under center if we want to keep this momentum rolling. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't see him playing, though. Again, chat. Again, a high ankle sprain takes 2 to 4 weeks to recover. Now, from my understanding, they're going to evaluate him until Wednesday. It's going to be day to day. And then also, if he's not able to go, right? If he's not able to go, then of course Andy Dalton will have the keys to the offense. But from my understanding, they say it's not that high of a grade, and it could end up that he just needs 1 week off on it. So we'll see. Andy Dalton would have never made that. You're probably right. Shout out to everybody on the YouTube channel. Where are we at on likes, guys? I think we got some people slacking, man. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. It goes a long way. You don't even understand how far along it goes. All right. Shout out to our sponsor, Swivel. The link is pinned up at the top of the chat on YouTube. Again, it's just a free extension for your Google Chrome. And all you have to do is use that link, and it will update you with all of my stuff. All right. It will update you with all my stuff consistently. So shout out to Swivel. All right. Make sure you guys check it out. All right, I'm going to finish it up with some key takeaways from this game. I talked about basically my studs of this game. We're going to go look at the team stats right now. We're going to look at these team stats real quick. The biggest takeaway that I took from this game, the biggest takeaways I took from this game was that Dave Canales has to learn how to get out of his own damn way, man. Again, I want to start with the head coach. I know that we're on this 3-game winning streak. I know we're above 500. We are doing very well for ourselves. I get all that. But because why I'm getting on Dave Canales is because he's stubborn as hell. You can tell. You think that after 7 weeks, he'd realize that sometimes you have to pivot mid-game. You got to adjust. You got to improvise. Maybe go with what works. No, he is married to his game plan, just like Ejiro Evero is to his. But Canales is married to his game plan like it's his high school sweetheart. And I'm going to give you a case in point of why I'm saying that. Case in point, he started Chuba Hubbard, fed him the ball way more than Rico Dowdle. Again, goes back to the whole Rico Dowdle Chuba Hubbard thing. Rico Dowdle clearly looks as the better back right now. Clearly. This is coming off 2 straight games where Dowdle put up over 200 yards from scrimmage. Okay? Combined and basically carried this whole damn offense. Okay? But they put Chuba Hubbard, who's coming out off of a calf strain, who's been out, right? They throw him into the line for 2-yard pops while Dowdle watched the sidelines like, really, bro? Like, I'm over here averaging 5 yards a carry. And even when it was obvious mid-game that Dowdle had the juice, Canales waited until it was too late to flip this switch. Is to me, and you can answer that question, is that coaching not to lose? Like, that's the question I have. Is that coaching not to lose? Because mentally, that drives me up the wall. Because when you had the chance to ice the clock, Canales was still giving the rock to Chuba Hubbard instead of Rico Dowdle. Thank God for Ejiro Evero's defense bailing us out, because a few of those decisions were flirting with disaster. I want to say that. Trevor Etienne, another guy I didn't mention earlier, but he was one of the most impressive players on this team in this game for a rookie, for sure. Outside of the muff punt a couple weeks ago, he's been money. Against the Jets, though, he was damn near electric. His best game yet, in my opinion. Every time he touched the ball, something good happened. He broke tackles. He found lanes, flipped a field position. Something the Panthers desperately need, obviously, with the offense kind of where it was in this game. But he brought life to a special teams unit that has been, well, pretty lifeless for a while. And it's early, but the kid's got some juice. And this team may have accidentally found themselves a nice real weapon there as well. But the biggest takeaways too was Ejiro Evers' defense is finally clicking. I'm calling it. Bryce is playing. Bryce, we better hope Bryce isn't playing. Here's the thing. If Bryce plays, yes, it gives us a chance to win this football game, but I'd rather him not. And if he goes out there against the Bills and gets even more injured, I don't see him playing. A high ankle sprain takes 2 to 4 weeks. If you think that he's going to play, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. Go look up. I mean, Google's a wonderful thing. But back to Ejiro Evero's defense. It's finally clicking, man. Like last year, I get it. It was a rough campaign. But it's finally coming to life, man. Like this defense has gone from soft to suffocating. They're doing it with some swagger. You limited Jets to just 81 rushing yards on 20 carries, making that the third straight game that we've kept an opponent under 100 yards on the ground. Considering how dreadful last year's run was, that's a hell of a turnaround. You know, we've also, again, I was talking about this earlier. Yep, Anthony, I see you in the chat on TikTok. Yeah. I talked about Nick Scorton earlier, but we brought the heat in this game. 6 total sacks, courtesy of Derrick Brown, A'Shawn Robinson, Nick Scorton, who had 1.5, Princely Umamielen, who had a half a sack, and even Tre'von Moehrig sneaking in on the fun. So the Jets' offensive line had no answers for us. And for context, the Panthers had 5 total sacks before this game again. So that's a huge glow up. And again, I talked about Jaycee Horn on the back end earlier, you know, locking things down like a damn security guard at closing time, 2 interceptions, sticky coverage all game, a visible swagger that made it clear he's back and healthy. The Jets were held to 139 passing yards, which says it all. I'm trying to see if there's any other takeaways I had from this game. Not really. Not really. Not any other takeaways. I gave you my studs and duds. We talked about the Rico Dowdle situation. I'm going to give you my final thoughts, though, here real quick, guys. I mean, well, listen, we're sitting here at 4-3. We're above 500 for the first time since 2019, which is wild to think. What the hell was going on in 2019? I was still in, I was out of college. I was out of college. So I wasn't even in college. I don't know what I was doing in 2019. Probably nothing good. Probably nothing good. But don't let that record fool you, man. This team still has a lot to figure out. Well, yeah, we've won 3 straight. We're 4-3 or above 500. I still think that we still have a lot to figure out. Yes, we're taking the steps in the right direction. But we were lucky against the Jets because, and we're talking about a Jets team that their offense is an absolute train wreck. Because against a competent team, some of these coaches' decisions and some of these offensive struggles would have been fatal. I still, a win's a win. I mean, the defense is humming. That's huge. Young players are showing flashes, right? Momentum is starting to build. If Dave Canales doesn't stop overthinking himself, and if Bryce Young's ankle turns out to be serious, that momentum could crash and burn real fast. Now, again, if it's not too serious and they just need to seat him for a week, I can live with that because you have the Buffalo Bills this week. All right. I don't know how much I trust Andy Dalton to lead this offense. I mean, after what I saw, I really don't have any faith in him at all. Because again, this is a team again that didn't dominate the New York Jets the way I felt like we should have. They did show some growth. They did show some resilience. They did show some grit. But for a team that's been through the ringer over the past couple of seasons, again, stacking 3 straight wins feels damn good for sure. And there's plenty to clean up. Again, this offense needs more juice. Again, the injury to Bryce Young is a concern to me. This team cannot start leaning solely on the defense again. But the vibes are definitely trending upward in Carolina. That's for sure. Because for the past few years, it's just been misery. So that's worth celebrating. Next week against Buffalo, or this week against Buffalo is going to be a real test. But again, the one thing is clear. This team is no longer some just pushover team. Okay, we're starting to look like a team that actually believes in itself again. So there is some good coming out of this. All right, it's not all bad. All right. Again, at the end of the day, a win is a win. No matter how you win, it's a win. It's like I've been saying about the Bucks, man. They just find good ways to win, and good teams just find ways to win. Clay, when's the last time you felt this type of excitement? I can't say when I felt this type of excitement, man. From a fan standpoint, I can't say. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. That's for sure. I can't say when, but it's been a long time, chat. That's for sure. Guys, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on X. Make sure you, if you're on YouTube, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share the channel with your friends, your family. TikTok, shout out to you guys over there. Make sure you just tap my face, drop a follow. I would greatly appreciate it. It goes a long way. If you're on X, do the same thing. Drop a follow, hit the heart, repost, do whatever. I would greatly appreciate that. Yeah. But other than that, guys, man, a win's a win. It wasn't perfect. I could care less. Again, we're on a 3-game winning streak. We just got to prepare for, you got to just prepare for the Bills now. That's the next step, preparing for the Bills, plain and simple. Shout out to Swivel, the sponsor here. So I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Swivel, the sponsorship here on the Robstar Report. Other than that, guys, I will see. Oh, don't forget about tomorrow, NFC South Roundtable by Roundtable Sports, 8 p.m. EST. NFC South Roundtable. Make sure you come over there. Show your guys some support. I would greatly appreciate that. All right. Come on over. Make sure you come over there. Roundtable Sports, NFC South Roundtable. Make sure you tune in to the live 8 p.m. EST. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow over there on the NFC South Roundtable. And of course, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. I'm out. Peace.